All right, folks. Well, thanks for sticking around. If you're listening to the post show, then we know that you love this stuff. You're extra geeky like us, so we're gonna just jump right into it. Uh, no new product events or launches in March.
That's
What
the
could this
rumor.
mean, and how do we feel about that? Yeah, that's a rumor because no one knows 100% right with Apple.
Yeah. I
Right, you
mean,
just never know.
Even Gurman, as good as his sources are,
Yeah,
could get things mixed up or they could only have part of the picture. But here's the thing. He mentions it on Sunday, and on Monday we get a press release for Apple's probably their second most popular product, right? Because their most
right.
popular by far is the iPhone. Their second most popular product is probably that MacBook Air.
Yep,
And it just
yep.
came out via press release.
I agree. I agree. So this is how I feel about that. And again, nothing set in stone with Apple. You never know because they'll have a product and the rumors are saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and they hold it for whatever reason. If it's not ready, it's not ready. But so for me, this means a few things. First, everything is delayed, right? Not saying that we're not going to get a big iPad release with all of these big features and a big update, just not when we originally thought, which was end of March, right? Could be mid to early to mid April. Maybe wishful thinking. A lot of this is speculation. I'm not an insider. I don't have the sources and stuff like Gurman has, or your Renee Richies and all of these other guys who are well connected. But I'm just going by based on our experience with Apple throughout the years, right? And what we've learned. Everything could be delayed. The iPad is still going to be as big as we want it to be. Maybe there's some kind of feature, some kind of hiccup through the supply chain or with the manufacturers or something, but it's delayed. That could be a possibility, right? The next thing is that everything has changed. Maybe the iPad is just going to be that quote unquote speed bump that that they just release out on the store without any big keynote or big big press event or something like that. And all of the leaks we've been getting were not for this version of the iPad. They were for the next generation, which will be coming out, 9 or 10 months, from now, instead of the speed bump that we're going to get released in the store. If the timeline is true, right, which was late March, by the end of March, right? Maybe everything has changed from that. All of the rumors were for the next version, and that's just not the version that we're going to get. We're just going to get an M3 iPad press release released on the store, just like the MacBook Air. I'm hoping that that's not the case. The last thing, which is what I mentioned to you last night, that's probably the most annoying to me, the thing that has me the most nervous is that Apple doesn't feel that this release is a big enough update to justify having a full event, right? To having all of the tech superstars fly out to San Francisco or Los Angeles or wherever they're going to have this presentation. It's not worth having everybody fly out to say, hey, this is a new processor and an OLED screen, right? Maybe this is just not as big a deal for them as we were hoping it was going to be. And again, the actual iPad that we're going to get, or whichever models that we're going to get, is just going to be just a speed bump. And I say speed bump meaning, of course, it's going to be faster. Of course, the battery life is going to be better. Wireless radio is going to be faster. Things like that. We just call it a speed bump because it's just, no new features, no new form factor, just improved internals. Here you go. It's available for sale this week instead of the current model. All of those things are not good news for me because I was really excited. I was really looking forward to getting the iPad. I actually remember I told you I did my trade in so I can lock in the value for the iPad and everything. But yeah, if this is true and it's not just a delay, right? I'll be okay with the delay. I'm not okay with it not being as big of a deal as we were hoping it was going to be. But all this is true. How does that make you feel, Greg? Because that is pretty upsetting to me.
Well, let me see if I can help you with this. I look at it a little bit different. I don't think
Hmm.
there's a big delay, right? I think we still could get the press release in the next couple of weeks, and
Hmm.
iPads could be here end of March, first part of April. I wonder if part of it they don't want to do a big event and take away from all the press that's going on about the Vision Pro,
Yep.
right? Because that is still out there
Yep.
smoking hot, right? And that could be part of it. But here's the other thing. When I think about all of the changes that they're going to make to the iPad,
Hmm.
OLED screen, hard to demo, hard to put in a video,
Yep.
right? Everybody knows that OLED is better than the mini LED or the LCD screens that they're doing right now on
Yep.
both the 11 and the 12.9s, right? So if they move the camera to the side, they've already done that once,
Yes.
right? So would that really justify an event? If they're only doing the iPad Pro and the iPad Air, and the Air is just getting the M2, we already know what the M2 is. We already know what the M3 chip is. And do they really need to bring people into California to do that, like you
Hmm.
said? But I don't see that necessarily as this is going to be a dud of an update, because it's almost like it's a million little things that we already know what they are. There's
Yes.
nothing new, but it's the combination of those things for the iPad Pro loyalists, right? That are
Hmm.
going to make just a huge, huge difference. Um, and you don't need to bring them to Cupertino, right? I mean, they're going
Right.
to pay attention to this, and they're going to get it no matter what. So that's kind of how I look at it. And the other thing that we've been saying all along is we're going to get hardware in the spring, but we're not going to know if there's going to be software changes that are going to take advantage of it unless they do
Yep.
something, right, in like a 17.5 release, which I kind of doubt considering everything that's going into 17.4.
Right.
So we're not really going to see that. So I understand what you're saying. I definitely still want one of these. The question again is Air or Pro are
Right.
going to be my big debates. But when I look at this, I go, would it be cool to do an event? Yeah. How much time could they really take up talking about all of these technologies that already exist
Yep.
in products
On
that they have?
on other devices. Yep. Yep.
But
You're
that
right.
doesn't mean that it's a dud update, because it is still a significant update to the iPad. I'm just not sure that a full event
Right.
is necessary for this. They could still do the same demo video because that's all they're doing nowadays, right?
Right.
Remember
Like the
that
Scary
too.
Fast event.
This is a new approach. All they do is play a video, and then if you're there, you can go do hands-on.
Yep.
Well, they can do tech briefings and do hands-on that way. They could do some. They do them in Cupertino. They do them in New York. They could do them
Hmm.
other places. They can send people review units. They can still put out the exact same video that they would show in Cupertino that 98% of people watch anyway, because they're not at the event, right? So the iPhone you have to do in person.
Yes.
WWDC you have to do in person. But we are at this point with this technology that I'm not sure anything outside of that, unless you're doing major physical, I can see some dramatic difference in the hardware.
Hmm.
I'm not sure you need these events anymore. So I'm not as down on it as you are. I think we're probably still going to get all the things that were rumored. I'm still going to have to debate between the iPad Air and the iPad Pro and figure out how that fits in and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. I'm not surprised that we're not having this, and I don't think we're going to. I think Gurman's probably right. So, but
Yep.
I don't think if I was you, you're probably going to hold on to your iPad now. You're probably not going to turn it in quite yet, aren't you? And
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna hold on to it for a little while longer.
yeah,
So
I mean, but your problem is battery life, right?
right.
And that's so. I don't see this as that big of a downer. I don't think it downplays anything related to the iPad. I just think it's the state of where the iPad is
Hmm.
today. Now, if they were going to drop a iPad OS 17.5 that had features specific to the iPad, that started to address some of these other things, or that did better connectivity between the Vision Pro and the iPad and all that kind of stuff combined
Hmm.
with hardware. Yeah, I could see an event, but we're not going to get that stuff until we see iPad OS
WWDC.
18 and
Yeah.
Vision OS 2.0 and all that kind of stuff at WWDC. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I'm not as down on it as you are. But also remember, I'm struggling with what I'm going to buy, because
Right.
I've got this amazing MacBook Pro that I just paid really good money for that can do all of this kind of stuff. So anyway,
So I'll be okay with, just like the Scary Fast event that they had with for the MacBooks. I'll be okay with a pre-recorded, something at Apple Park, and they talk about the specs and all of that. I'll be okay with something like that. I guess don't really need. It doesn't matter if I'm not flying out there. They're not flying us out there to see
hey,
the
if they
show.
want
So
to,
yeah, we'll go. We'll go just to watch the video and do the hands-on if you guys want us to come. Tim, I know you're an avid listener of the show, but if it was just like that, just a press release, a pre-recorded keynote or unveiling of the thing, just like the Scary Fast event, I think I'll be okay with that.
yeah.
And there's still a chance that something is it's going on. Something similar to that would happen, but you know, it doesn't sound like it's happening in March. At least if Gurman is right.
No, I think he said, right, that he expects it all to still happen in March. So,
Yeah.
but like I'm looking right now at the MacBook Airs, and there's no video that I can see on those. Now, there might be something on
Okay.
YouTube, but there's not like how usually there's like a keynote thing.
Are those available for delivery now, or is it or not pre-order, but can you order it
Nope.
and it says like pick up like in 3 days or 4 days or something like that?
Order now. 13-inch delivers next Friday.
Okay. Okay. Not too bad.
No, delivers this Friday.
Okay, that's even better.
Yeah, no, delivers this Friday. That's for the 13-inch with the M3, 15-inch with the M3 also this Friday, unless you're going with the super super high end
Okay.
stuff. So yeah,
And
I
I'm
mean
assuming
that's
too they'll be available for pickup too, so you can probably go into the Apple Store Friday and just buy one if you're near one
yeah,
without having to order.
yeah. So I'm not. I think we're okay. I think we'll get all of the stuff right. I think
Yeah.
that'll be a big deal. We'll get all of the stuffs, and I think we're all right. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's it. That's all I had. I just wanted to go on that rant about about my feelings on this whole thing. I'm not too worried because at this point, certain types of rumors and stuff we get, especially leaks of like parts and things like that, it's usually a done deal. But again, nothing's set in stone with Apple. We
yeah,
never know until we know with them. So
yeah. I
thanks for
think we're all
listening.
right.
Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah.
okay. I'm not going to worry about it.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. And we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.